Section D3 Opiates. In Section 3 of medicinal chemistry, it will be important to understand 1. The ability of a drug to cross the blood-brain barrier depends on its chemical structure and solubility in water and lipids. 2. Opiates are natural narcotic analgesics that are derived from the opium poppy. 3. Morphine and codeine are used as strong analgesics. Strong analgesics work by temporarily bonding to receptor sites in the brain, preventing the transmission of pain impulses without depressing the central nervous system. And 4. Medical use and addictive property of opiate compounds are related to the presence of opioid receptors in the brain. Now, an example of a mild analgesic that is commonly found is aspirin. However, opiates derived from poppy seeds are a completely different group and act as strong analgesics, meaning they kill pain by preventing transmission of pain impulses rather than at the source of the pain. This means that their analgesic properties come from blocking opioid receptors in our brain by binding to them temporarily. Therefore, it can be said that strong analgesics interfere with the perception of pain. Because they act on the brain, they may cause changes to behavior and mood, making them also narcotics. The brain is surrounded by a membrane-bound structure known as the blood-brain barrier, restricting chemicals that can enter from the blood. Like all membranes, this structure is made largely of lipids, making the barrier hydrophobic. Therefore, in order to enter the brain, a drug must be non-polar and lipid-soluble. Analgesic properties of the brain are important as they largely depend on the ability of blood, where aqueous solubility is important, to the brain, where lipid solubility is important. This can be determined by their chemical structure. Let's look at codeine first. The functional groups of codeine are arene, ether, alkenyl, hydroxyl, and tertiary amino, and it is obtained from 0.5% raw opium, usually prepared from morphine. Now, morphine has the same functional groups, except rather than with different numbers of functional groups, and is obtained from 10% raw opium. And it has several therapeutic uses, such as the treatment of severe pain, such as advanced cancer. But usage of this must be monitored by a medicinal professional. Now, there's also dimorphine, and this is commonly known as heroin. And the functional groups remain much of the same once again, with just minute differences as seen in the images below. And it is obtained from opium, but usually obtained from reaction of morphine. And the therapeutic uses of that are treatment for severe pain. It is illegal in most countries as it is the most rapid acting, most abused narcotic, and it is extremely addictive. Most of these drugs have common basic structure, but have a few different functional groups. Morphine is the principal drug derived from opium. From morphine, codeine and diamorphine can be created. Codeine is typically prepared from morphine, making it semi-synthetic. The reaction also converts the OH group into methyl ether, known as methylation. This makes the drug less polar, allowing easier brain barrier passage, but makes it a weaker analgesic through a significant drop in the binding at the opioid receptor. In contrast, diamorphine is produced by esterification reactions, where both OH groups are converted into ethanoic groups. This reduces polarity significantly, allowing it to cross the blood-brain barrier easily. This makes it extremely fast-acting, by a factor of 2 in comparison to morphine. Therefore, to sum it up, from morphine, methylation occurs and results in codeine, and esterification results in diamorphine. Structures directly affect the ability of the drug to act as analgesics. The diamorphine inside the brain must undergo metabolic changes before becoming an opioid receptor. Ester links are broken with esterases, making diamorphine a prodrug, meaning that the product of the metabolism, which is mostly morphine, is what actually brings out its effect. Therefore, diamorphine can be seen as a packaging for morphine to better reach its target for the brain. 6-acetylmorphine is a derivative of morphine that is even stronger than diamorphine. It can be extremely dangerous. It does not need to undergo hydrolysis before interacting with the brain.
Created using Powtoon.